welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Cuisinart. Today, as you may know, I've done a few off-the-cuff series, and I'm going to continue these. It's just my first impressions of certain key comic books that I pick up at the store. It's not a review of a story arc or anything like that, it's just first impressions and how I feel about them. So, let's get started real quick with... Okay, so, probably if you read Green Lantern and you don't want a spoiler on this one, then I'll give you 3, 2, 1 to either fast forward or shut it off. I love this comic book series, but there's one character in the DC universe that I absolutely hate above all else: Parallax. I absolutely cannot stand that character. I've hated him since the day they introduced him into the comic books. This brings him back. Oh, God. Next up, we've got The Dark Knight. So, gonna be honest, not digging this at all. The art's good, it's decent. Story, I think the problem right now is that they really want to capture magic in a bottle again from the original Dark Knight comic book. And it's just not going to happen. They've tried it with the second one. It didn't work. It flopped and failed miserably. And this one, I don't think this one's a flop. It's not all that good. But as far as creamy filler goes, they do something really cool with these issues. They introduce you to little comic books inside the comic books. That cover art's just beautiful to me. It looks really good. They throw these little stories in, and they call it the Dark Knight Universe Presents. And it's, I guess, from Frank Miller's take in his story arcs or whatever, but this one's just not doing much for me, to tell you the truth. Next up we have Superman American Alien. Superman American Alien, let me tell you, another bait and switch comic book. Start off with one artist, really liked the story and how it was. Got to the second one, change up the artist, don't like the art, and it ain't Superman. I don't know what they're doing with this one. It ain't Superman. It's very dark, and it's very atypical of a Clark Kent type of story. I understand he's a kid and he's learning about his abilities and powers, but he's roasting people like barbecue, and it's a very dark comic book, and I just don't know if I'm digging on this whole situation with this. I don't know what they've done with it. I don't know why when they have these short issue runs, 1 through 5 or 1 through 7 or whatever, they find it necessary to give a different artist in every single one. It's hard to get a beat on it, so I'm just not into it. I don't know if I'll collect the entire series, to tell you the truth. Next up we have Batman Europa. Guess what? Pass. Now, I talked about this in another episode. This one caught me off guard, seeing this Attorney of War. Like I said, I've been picking them up and looking at them at the store, and they really interested me, but at the time I was collecting so many other titles. And I'll tell you what, this is really good. For coming into issue 13, where I have absolutely no idea what's going on, the art is really cool. It's very nostalgic. I mean, it brings me right back to the cartoon and the toys and the original comic books, the minis. Do you guys remember the mini comic books from the 1980s? I would love to find a collection of those mini comic books. That would be something really cool to look for this year, to tell you the truth. Some of those little mini issues, they were just the tiniest little things, but they came with each one of the He-Man figures that you bought at the store. They were just really cool, and they had the most amazing artwork. These almost go back to that kind of, that essence of the 1980s. I'm really liking this one, even though it's issue 13. Like I said, I have no clue what's going on, but I love the artwork. It's got a really good feel to it. Good stuff. Now, I'll tell you what, this one is pretty damn good. I will give this props all day long. This is Earth 2 Society, and I wasn't sure if I would be a really big fan, but now that I'm looking for some fillers in stories that I'm trying to collect, because, well, let's face it, at the end of 2015, there was a lot of them that I just quit collecting. I'm just not going to do it anymore. But I kind of like to keep. I'm very basic in my collecting. I try not to get sporadic. I do every once in a while when something catches my eye, but I don't get very sporadic. I have maybe 5 titles that I collect regularly, and then I'll get a couple of off-the-wall things like American Alien garbage. So, you know, this one looks like it might be something I'm going to start collecting now, because just from the 2 or 3 issues that I picked up at the store and the fact that it's not all that far in, I can catch up on everything. It looks really good. I love the art. The artist, Jimenez, I think it's George Jimenez, is really good. I think he's been around for a while, but don't quote me because I tried to do research on him recently. And I want to say he's either very reminiscent of another artist from the 90s that did a lot of X-Men issues that I hated at first, but then I really grew to love him. He's almost got that style, or it might be him. I'm going to have to double check on that one. But if you guys are into, I mean, just check this one out again. It's Earth 2 Society seems really good. I got 1 or 2 issues I've got to pick up to get the ball rolling here, but yeah, it looks really good. So that's going to do it for Off the Cuff this week. You guys tell me, what have you picked up lately that just, you know, you were looking forward to it and it was such an utter disappointment for you? Just, there were so many comic books that came out that got pumped up in one way or another. You know, tell me what you guys think about The Dark Knight 3. I don't know why it's not doing anything for me. I think it's been overhyped. I think there's too much crap that's gone into it, too much stuff surrounding it, that it just didn't live up to what we all want, which, again, I said it before, you're not going to capture magic in a bottle twice, I don't think. Not with this. I think Frank Miller's a decent writer, terrible artist, but decent writer. I just don't think he's going to be able to top what he did. And with the Batman vs. Superman movie coming out, I think they're just riding a very big hype train right now. So, that's what I think. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Have a good one.